Austin's love life is still center stage, and we get invited to a pillow party. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, welcome. We are in
We're in
deep.
A needle pulling thread. Oh, we don't have the rights to that. Never mind.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, welcome to our after show here at AfterBuzz TV for Southern Charm. We, as always, are super excited to chat with you about tonight's episode. It was definitely intense, and we have a lot to chat about. But before we do get started, I'd love to reintroduce my lovely co-host, starting with Mr. Matt Marr.
Hi, y'all. My name's Matt Marr. I'm excited to be here. Madison! They played it again.
Yes.
Hey everybody, Crystal McLaughlin here. I'm just, honestly, my abs hurt after I leave here. I swear to God, because Matt keeps me laughing. Hopefully he's keeping you laughing too.
I'm better than Pilates.
Susan Pinkney, and I'm so ready to talk about this show.
Yes. Hey guys, and I'm Mayte Carrillo. Okay, so overall thoughts for tonight's episode. There was definitely quite a few interesting points and a lot of parental advice being given, right?
Yes.
What do you guys think overall about tonight's episode? Matt, what do you think?
I think, it was a good episode. I think that the newness or the charm of people kind of mending their ways with Kathryn and Austin, that people, it's just kind of wearing thin on people. And so I think there was this theme of just this, it was like this, people being who they thought the balance of people, I have words, I promise I'm gonna come out. The balance of people hit with the real life of what I can't talk.
Okay. You know what? But,
no, I know what I was going to say. You know when you think you are known to everybody in a community?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the realization of, oh, maybe you're not thought of exactly how you think people think you are. There we are. I swear I'm not drunk. I wish I was.
Too much popcorn.
Yeah.
What about you, Cristal? What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like what I got from this episode is that, like, people need to grow up, right? Austin has his issues with Madison. Craig is still sleeping until 5 p.m. And Kathryn is kind of being lectured like a child. So that's what I took from it. It's kind of like an episode. Actually, Susan, you said that, like, how it's kind of like a motherly type of episode. People just kind of like, putting some real life into, each other's friendships or, family ships or whatever it is that you want to call it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I took from it. It was one of those episodes where everyone had the mentor. So father, son, mother, daughter, it was that kind of relationship. Even Danni tried to revisit her talk with Kathryn, and Kathryn wasn't having it.
And that's even a little teaser of our top 3.
Exactly. You guys, we have a lot to chat about. As always, we do have our live chat up, so I just want to remind you guys, Matt is definitely in our live chat right now. Do you have anyone?
I want to shout out Maria Lalachi from Maryland. This is her first time in the live chat.
Welcome.
Also, Kimmy Sylvester says it's her first time in the live chat. CC Freak is here.
CC Freak!
Angela Sessions is here. Crystal's mom is here.
Yay!
My mama.
Is your mom? Yeah, I don't know which one's your mom.
She said she can figure it out because she's Maria. But hi, Mom.
Oh yeah, and Film Raiders here. So we appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah.
Keep it going and leave your comments, and we will shout you out.
Yes,
we always
and
try.
also don't forget that we're gonna do our not so charming moment segment later on. So make sure you pick yours so you can join in.
Right,
Yep.
and Susie will also be handling our top 3 moments of the night. So that's a lot to look forward to. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this relationship between, again, we saw this video of Austin and having his threesome. I'm looking at Matt thinking that he's going to say, Madison!
I did
Madison!
it once.
Yeah.
I did it once.
So now
Madison!
Madison!
I mean, seeing Austin just scream adjusting his boner is like really one of the best things in life.
Yeah, exactly.
It never gets old, y'all. And then when he said his parents saw that, I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
what a freaking loser.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
So Austin, right, we get to see Austin and his dad go golfing, right? And I love it when someone really throws it to one of the cast members and speaks truth. Everything that was
truth talk.
Exactly. Everything that was coming out of Austin's dad's mouth was just speaking so volumes, and I feel like Austin was not paying attention.
No.
And his guard is so high up and he's not listening. You know what I mean? And he's just not, his dad is offering some really sound advice. What do you think, Susie?
You have to be ready to receive it. You're exactly
Girl.
right. I mean, there
That's
can
true.
be, all these great mentors all around you, these people who are very successful, and you have these great lives. You have Miss Patricia, you have these people. If you're not ready to receive it, it's just going to fall on the ground.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I'm a therapist. Do you know how many clients where I'm like, girl, if you just listen to me now, but you're going to come in next session and you're going to talk about him, and then they come back next session and I'm like,
What I say?
you
didn't
just want to
listen.
tell them what to do, but you can't. You're the therapist. You listen and support their process. But man, he is not ready to listen. I mean, and his dad, I thought one of the best kind of well, we'll talk about that later. But I think one of the best things that I appreciated so much is that it wasn't mean, and he was kind of, I felt like he was laughing a little with him, but it was just brutally honest. And I don't think, I don't know if the guys in the crew talk to each other like that. I mean, Shep yells at people because he doesn't want to focus on his own inadequacies. I mean, Shep is obsessed with Austin and Madison. Does anybody else think it's
disgusting.
weird?
It's
No,
so
it's weird.
disgusting.
It's
Totally
so weird. He's just kind of like that drunk, bloated, crazy guy in the corner that just is obsessed with something with a weird eye.
Right.
God.
What I loved about what Austin, like you said, his dad supporting him, is that he didn't tell him what he should do. He led him to come to his own decision on that, right? Because he's like, well, why do you think you're doing all of these things? After he kind of pre-gamed him on all the things he's kind of doing, he's like, well, because I don't feel adequate in my life. I can't do it like you do. But he's like telling him it's because I'm not feeling good in my life, and he's like, all right then, Bubba.
Which was sweet, I thought.
Yeah, we call my brother
Yeah.
Bubba. He's the Bubba in our family.
That's super sweet.
We do have somebody, I love that film writer just said, I don't understand what happened to Austin's beer business. No one does.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
And I feel like when they ask him about it too, his dad was questioning him. He was just like, well, I went to this manufacturer and then everything just fell apart. He's like, everything in my life is just falling apart. And it's like, well, his dad was, as he was telling him, well, what are you doing to help fix this? What's your
get
next
the part.
step? Exactly. Anyways, so we see the side of him as this whole conversation is going on between them. And then we get to see also Madison and her having a conversation with Patricia. Which is great because Patricia does offer very sound advice. And I love how, before you start a conversation with Patricia, she's like, let's get a drink. Right. This is where we start shit talking, right?
Yeah.
So what do we think about that whole situation? Do we like this friendship between Madison and Patricia?
Well, they've been together for 10 years as friends. You know, she said she pretty much has watched her grow up, and
she mentors her.
Yeah, she mentors her. And Madison is saying that she got revenge sex. And what does Patricia say? She's like, oh, well, we used to call it revenge marriage. And I am totally for that. I'm
Me
like,
too.
you know what? I think that's awesome. In fact, that's what maybe this is why I feel like men are not stepping up to the plate, because there's not enough of revenge marriage,
Oh, that's a pretty strong statement.
It is.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about this.
Wow.
If guys had to work for stuff, they don't have to pretty much anymore, because a lot of women allow a lot of stuff to happen to them this day and age, unfortunately. I feel like men would step up to the plate. It's like I was listening to Steve Harvey last week, and he was like, well, men wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for women. He's like, we wouldn't need to buy the cars, the houses, and buy, have these lavish jobs and have all this money. Because then if women didn't exist, what would be the point, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you treat yourself like you're just like, a penny, then you're going to be a penny. But if you treat yourself like you're $1 million, you're going to be $1 million, baby. So good for her. Mm-hmm. I'm all for it. I'd like to actually talk to Patricia myself.
We all would love to talk to Patricia and get some
I would
sound
love
advice.
to be mentored by that woman. She's very intelligent. She knows what she's doing.
Well, she gets the game.
Yes.
And she knows that it's a game. She gets the absurdity of it, and she can comment on the absurdity of it. And I think that she doesn't take things as seriously. And that's a lot just I mean, when you get older, you just
Yeah.
the
It's
F's
different.
drop away.
Yeah. And Madison's been married before. She's divorced.
Yes.
And Patricia knows about that.
Right.
Yeah.
She said she saw her through all of that. So I'd love to hear the scoop.
Oh.
So we're interested in knowing more about Madison?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to see where we're all at, you know, because we always have something to say here.
People in the chat are living for Madison.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
we're getting Madison's Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't see the chemistry between her and Austin. That's Maria Lalachi. CC Freak says I was really down with Austin when he tries to, she was really down on Austin when he tried to bash Madison on Watch What Happens Live. I
Yes.
guess he did. He is so bitter.
I couldn't believe when that happened, and I was watching it as that episode was taking place, and I couldn't believe how Austin had tweeted something and was trying to get revenge back on Madison. It was just so childish.
I mean, if you think about it, you know, you see what he wrote about Chelsea to Madison. I mean, that proves that he's a child. And the fact that she shared it with Chelsea was like proof that like she feels like he's a child too. And anyways, like the reason why he keeps acting like a child is because, no offense, I love Chelsea. I think she always sticks up for everybody. But she like, what did he say? You're too kind. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, you're forgiven. Like, no.
We'll get into that. We'll get into it.
No.
May I?
Yes.
I will say this. I love Madison. I'm her biggest cheerleader. She's my favorite. I loved her outfit tonight. She looked amazing. I don't agree with her sharing her private. I don't care if they're broken up or not. I don't care if he was a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, but something that happens within your relationship should kind of stay in
That
your
I agree
relationship.
with.
Well, girl, I think they passed that when he had a threesome and then she had revenge
I
sex. So,
know,
like,
but-
a text is just like,
Post it
that's
online.
nothing at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree with you, but it's
Yeah.
like, you're thinking logically.
I'm right here with
she
both you.
She was stirring the pot, you know, like big time. Like she just wanted Chelsea to be mad at Austin. So like if I break up with him, I don't want you two to get back together.
You know-
I don't want
yeah.
you to like him. You know what I mean?
You know what was happening is revenge. They were both
girl.
revenge
It's
is the
middle
word
school
between
revenge.
both of us. Yes. Yeah, it I feel like we're gonna dig in a lot deeper as the episodes go by. But before we move on to our next topic, Mr. Matt has some wise words to share.
You know that we love y'all so much, and this is that time where we ask you to, I never remember what side it's on. Look at your little screen if you're
the
watching
left.
on the YouTube. To the left. Everybody needs to subscribe to the left. Got no description in my pocket. And the rest, I can't. I'm not Queen Bee. I can't. I'm done. I got too nervous. It started to go, and then I was like, ah. But, y'all, we loved it. Like, I had a shit day. I came in, I was like, this day beat me. I'm in such a good mood because I love this show. I love this panel. It gives me life. It gives all of us life. We do this because we love it so much. And the way we can continue to do that is by if you subscribe to this channel, if not only do you comment, but you share it on your YouTube, your social media. We appreciate that so much. We were just talking, we've got to catch up. Some of us, we heard that. There's other reality shows that are going on. I know Housewives are going on Bravo. We've got all your reality tea that you want. Southern Charm New Orleans is supposed to be really good this season. Y'all did an interview with the cast.
Yes, absolutely. So you have to watch that.
We've got so many shows, and so if you subscribe, you'll get all the reality, juicy drama that you can get. Leave some comments. And again, if you listen to the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, please leave a review. We will shout those out on the show. And we just appreciate y'all for making us the ESPN of TV talk.
5 stars, you guys.
Wow.
5 stars. Review that.
That was lovely, Matt. That's the best. That was amazing. Okay, I'm speechless. I'm lost for words.
All right.
Yes,
We'll
as
get
always.
together, girl. You need it.
I
No,
know.
I'm kidding.
Sorry. Sometimes I'm a little wobbly. All right, so let's jump into this conversation between Kathryn and Craig, and just seeing Craig. He's so uncomfortable. He's laughing, but he wants to be comforting. He doesn't know what to say. But then at the same time, I'm like, this is typical Kathryn. She loves venting to Craig. Their relationship is like no other. Am I
I
right?
agree. And I've always wanted Craig and Kathryn to kind of get together. And I know it might be too late now, but ever since season 1, I always knew there was a little something between them. And he was the one who kind of always protected her in those weird moments. maybe now it's like a brother-sister relationship,
It
but
is.
there's this, I just want them to be together.
I used to always say that. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's
think
much
so.
to say about that situation. She came to him because she was feeling bad. I feel for her because she was saying that she hadn't cried in a long time, and maybe that's why she feels as bad as she does. That's all I thought about the entire time, watching her cry, and then her trying to like, okay, well, I'm good. It's like you don't have to pretend like everything's good. It's not good. Be okay with that. Be okay to cry. But do realize like you have emotions and feelings and accept them and get the support you need, but also be okay that you're a hot mess sometimes.
Yeah, I think she picks and chooses who she wants to vent to.
Yeah.
And I think Craig is definitely that person that
He's
she feels
non-judgmental.
comfortable. Exactly. What do you think, Matt?
Sure, everything is fine. What if I make you a pillow?
That is exactly what he said.
Worst there. That is verbatim.
Verbatim.
Exactly what he said. It was the worst advice ever. I think y'all. I know I keep saying this. Craig is going to come out in this season. He's wearing eyeliner now. I wore eyeliner in my 20s. I'd listen to Britney Spears' Toxic and go out. It was not a good look. But I'm just saying, I think one reason why she talks to him because there's no sexual chemistry between them. And I think she feels safety in that. And I think a lot of this episode, I empathize with Kathryn. And I think she's just, a lot of people I know and I've counseled that are struggling with addiction and kind of overcoming that. It's at first you kind of get your life straight and you try to just literally just get a home and all that kind of stuff. But then no matter how you try to avoid it, you got to start dealing with your emotions. Because there's that adage, you need to feel it to heal it. And she's not drinking, so she can't numb those emotions. And we're seeing in this video, whether it's with Danni, whether even with Craig, even at the end when she fight, Kathryn is shutting off her emotions and shutting down because it is very difficult for her to feel that because it probably triggers her to wanting to use.
Exactly.
So that said, though, that's not an excuse for her not to have conversations and not to feel.
But she was having a conversation with Craig. She's telling him, I think she just needs time, And when we get into that part of the topics, I have something to say about that.
Do you want to say something, Susie?
Well, I was just going to say, first of all, I heard the therapist come out and Matt tonight as he talked about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, let me listen.
That's just
that
a
was
layer
awesome.
of Matt.
Yeah. But
A lot of dick jokes, too.
Sorry. Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
CC Freak just put 4 head in her hands. I'm sorry.
Susie.
Oh, okay,
funny.
go ahead.
I forgot now.
Oh,
You know what?
sorry.
Let's just jump into this pillow party.
Yeah, you can go back.
Yeah,
the
I'm
good
sure
stuff.
you'll think back of what you were
I'm
going to
good.
say. Let's
I'm
jump
fine.
into Craig's pillow party, right? So we see Anna, which is his, what did I write? It's his assistant, right? So she's doing all the work. She's prepping for everything while Craig is upstairs sleeping. I'm like, hello, get it together. When is this? What's going to happen? And so then we see Cameron walk in, and of course she made that comment about Whitney's glasses, which I found
Oh, God.
Thanks, Cameron.
hilarious.
I can't unsee that, and it was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
What do we think about his setup and the fact that he was having this pillow party to help everybody? Well, help himself, right?
Yes.
Free labor of the cast.
But people do that all the time, like paint parties. Like if you move into a new apartment and you kind of con your friends to come over by getting pizza and beer or something to help you paint. I never heard of a pillow party. I mean, that was a stretch. But, and he didn't prep anyone because obviously Miss Patricia would not have shown up if she thought it was for manual labor.
She has a soft spot for him.
That's true. She does have a soft spot. I mean, you kind of do that when you're in your 20s. When you start thinking you're 30, isn't he 30? Right?
Yeah.
I think he's 30, yeah.
I if y'all know in the chat, let me know how old Craig Conover is, or ask Siri. I don't know. But you're kind of beyond the age where you ask your friends to. It's like once I turn 30, I don't ask my friends to help me move anymore.
No.
Like I move or hire movers.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you're over 30 and you're asking your friends, stop.
Yeah.
They don't need to move your life.
Yep. It's the same thing as when I, come from the airport or need a ride to the airport, I'm not asking my friends. I'm
Oh, I'd give you a ride.
Oh, you can do that, you know, but yeah, that's a little different.
No, but you know, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me when he does stuff like this. You know, I give it to him for trying. You know, I give him a C+ for effort. Right, because he rolled out of bed at 5:00.
Yeah,
was wondering why Anna didn't have the party all ready and prepped
that
and ready to
was
go.
so weird.
I don't know. It was. I'm glad he had the party because then we saw all the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Between the ladies and also Shep, but like Shep said at the luncheon with Craig, I'm not coming to your house to make pillows, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think anyone, even if he would have started something, they would have looked at him like, let me just go get something more to drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it was very short on liquor, I would have been like, I'm leaving. But they did have the chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A, and those are bombs.
And
So props to that.
The pimento sandwiches.
Those are good.
And he made her get a silver tray.
Two sad bottles of vodka.
And too sad.
Sad, y'all.
And a bottle of wine. God.
Well, why? I'm surprised they didn't
That
have
Chelsea brought.
any whiskey, any gentry.
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 Oh my God.
You know who did have some whiskey?
I did that for Maria B, who just asked me to do a whiskey impression. And we did see
cute.
JD in
We
this
did.
episode.
Yeah, we
We
did?
did.
Where?
In the flashback when Danny was
Yeah.
talking,
Oh, yeah.
we saw him sitting with
yes.
Jennifer.
I always wonder if they're still together. If anybody knows if they're still together, let us know. No, they had gotten back to, they were divorcing, and then they had seen them take pictures together, and
I
don't know.
will come back and tell her to stop. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, well, one person that definitely did need the liquor was Austin with his whole conversation with Chelsea. I disliked how he started this conversation saying, oh, that was a drunken moment in time. Like, Chelsea totally shut it down. And I feel like Chelsea really did defend herself and just laid it out as it was, to the point where Austin, he had no chance. Right?
Yeah.
Do we think that it was great that she brought this topic on now?
course.
Yeah.
I think it was super important. She definitely needed to say something. But at the same time, she also let him, like I said earlier, let that slide way too easily. I think he needs to be held accountable. It's like almost, they're like, I'm sorry. That's what he did, basically. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, come on. No, let's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea is a motherer or a parent. I can see her getting in relationships like with Austin where she's just kind of parenting. So I think I've been there. And so it's hard to break that pattern. But but the thing is also, I don't think that she let him off the hook per se, is that Chelsea sees that it's not about her. Because she even said, when I've been in that situation and I've been talking smack about people, it's usually because I'm not happy with what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
And she didn't say it has nothing to do with other, but you could tell she was like,
Right.
this
Yeah.
is, because y'all, it's never about you.
Right. Let's jump into, because we're getting short on time. I really want to talk about the conversation between Danni and Kathryn, because that was a huge highlight in tonight's episode. So we definitely saw Danni, and I feel as I was watching Danni's hurt and her pain in between like this whole conversation, and to me it makes it seem like Kathryn, like I said earlier, she picks and chooses who she wants to, and I feel like she wasn't ready. She's not ready to pick on Danni, and Danni probably has her own issues going on that Kathryn doesn't know about, and she's seeking her help. Do we think that there's a chance that this friendship is going to evolve into a next level, or do we think they're going to continue to bicker and fight throughout the episodes?
Miss Susan?
No, I absolutely think they'll be friends. And I think, they're going to have their moments of having a rift. That's what real friends do. When you're a straight shooter and you confront someone, even if Danni thought what she did was exactly right in the right time and place, I don't feel like it was the right time and place. But even if she feels like what she did was right, she said what was on her heart. And that's what you have to do in a real friendship. If you are in a real relationship with someone, you got to be straight with them. You can't just hide it or wash over it. So they will absolutely come back together.
Danni mentioned that she's scared to talk about her feelings to Kathryn. And I feel like maybe Kathryn has so much going on in her life that she doesn't know how to navigate this. Do we know if Kathryn
Sorry, go ahead.
is receptive towards that?
I feel like the thing is you choose how you feel towards somebody, right? Like if you have an issue with somebody and you let it boil over, and I think as a woman, like we tend to do that a lot, right? We allow a lot of things to slide, and then we get to the point where it's boiling over, and we want to say something. Well, that's not fair either, and I think she should feel validated for how she feels, but also don't think that Kathryn is a mind reader. Like if you're upset all this entire 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months, whatever it might be, and you don't say anything, and then you have a big blow up. She even said she had a big blow up, and she even acknowledged that at the party. Then she shouldn't really feel. Look, at the end of the day, she should have never brought this up at the party again. It should have been brought up at a lunch. Hey, let me talk to you. Tell me what day and time works for you, and leave it alone. It should have never been brought up at the party. I thought that was totally wrong. And for Chelsea to jump in, Kat felt completely attacked, and I completely understand where she's coming from. Was she acting childlike? Yes, of course, but she's vulnerable right now. She's in a horrible place, and like she said, no one else is going through the stuff that she's going through. So yeah, how can you understand?
But how much can we let her slide by with this? Is she even ready to be a friend?
I'm Team Danni on this, actually.
Oh.
Well, I'm actually not. I don't think there's any right and wrong in this. I think, like CC Freak was saying, I think Kathryn's really in her feelings right now. Yeah. Danny's able to think about this a little bit more emotionally. I think, even though she was, or rationally, I think Kathryn can be a bit narcissistic.
Yeah.
She just can. She can be very much about her. Yeah. So I think what Kathryn's trying to explain, I don't care how, you could have the worst problems in the world. I have some friends that have gone through some just deep stuff in life. And if I go to them and I start to talk about my problem and I say, you know what? You're going through way more. A good friend says, it's not about me right now.
Amen.
Let me listen to you.
Right.
Yes.
Kathryn doesn't do that for a lot of people. It's always about Kathryn getting support from all the crew.
Yes.
And Kathryn doesn't like to talk about her feelings. So what does she do when someone tries to approach her feelings? She kind of becomes, I call it like Cat Hulk. She kind of hulks out and scares people. So that way, and that's what she's done with Danni. Danny's tiptoeing around her because she doesn't want to see the blow up that we've seen Kathryn have.
Agreed.
So I think, and yes, Danni shouldn't have brought it up at the party, but then Danni tried to talk to her at the tree stump with the smoke and all that. And Kathryn completely shut that down and wouldn't talk there either.
At the table.
Well, I think she brought it up again, but I mean, she tried to do it individually.
In the tree house when they were out by the fire.
And I think, yes, she brought it up at the party because I think Chelsea was trying to encourage her. And Chelsea even said, like, let's talk about this now. And was trying to encourage both of them because Chelsea is a fixer. And it just, like, she's in her feelings and not. Well, the point is what y'all were saying earlier. It's the whole horse can't drink the water. Right. It's just that Kathryn's just not ready to hear this right now. It might not be ever, and who knows when that will be.
Right, and it's just sad to see that how both of them have their very different qualities and how they're not meshing well with one another. You actually said that very perfectly well, Matt. Let's move on into our special segment that Cristal will take away.
Hey everybody, we're going to do our not so charming moment very quickly. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, girl.
So in this segment, we pick a part of the episode that we thought someone acted not so charming.
I'll go first. I have one.
Okay, good.
Cameron's fart.
Oh,
Where she
dang
laid
it, that was mine.
I knew somebody was going to take it, so I had to say it. I loved it. I mean, that was definitely not so charming, but it was my favorate highlight of
We
the
all
night.
get gassy, y'all.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead, baby.
It was just a pillow party. The end.
I love it. What about you?
My not so charming was Madison. Next time, have revenge marriage. Not revenge
That's
sex.
hilarious. And mine was when Craig said, "We're surrounded by pretty fabric and it's happy." When he's trying to comfort Kathryn.
As happy.
I know.
Anyway.
Let's jump into our segment, right, Susie, that you have for us?
Yes. So top 3 sage advice.
Sage advice.
Yeah, that's our
We've talked about some of these things already, but we collectively decided that Devil in the Details from Austin's dad was our number 3. Our number 2 was freeze your eggs. from Danni's mom.
Y'all.
And our number one, of course, we've mentioned it quite a few times, was we didn't have revenge sex. We had revenge marriage.
Hey.
In my time, we had revenge marriage. I can't do it, Patricia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have
go
any
ahead.
other shout
I was
out?
just going to say that I was going to see if no. Nobody
Okay.
has a not so charming. So no, keep going.
Let's jump into our predictions really quickly because we didn't do it last week.
Oh yeah.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Thanks for that, Matt. Totally participated.
It's true.
I'll go first in this prediction. I really think that Kathryn's boyfriend, of course, we get to see him, and I think he's going to stir up the drama with Danni. I think he's going to get involved in that.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's a good one.
I have something. Okay, I think we're even going to see that's going to go a little bit afoul, and like Kathryn maybe will see that this guy might be right for, and I think that's going to lead her back to kind of, oh, Danni, you were right.
Ooh.
I think that after the guys' trip, I think Austin's going to get back with Madison.
I think you're right.
What do you think, Susie?
I'm just ready for next week. That's all.
Y'all, Susan's overwhelmed. This was a lot this week to take in.
Right.
It was. I feel like we were all over
We
the
all
place. Or
were
maybe that was
overwhelmed.
just me. Thank you guys so much for chatting with us and for joining in our live chat.
Yeah, leave
and
your comments on the video during the week. We will respond.
yes, we
tweet at us.
tweet
all
us
that.
on iTunes, everything. We love to continue the conversation. Matt, do you want to let everybody know
yeah.
where they can find you?
Yeah, you can tweet at us at the Matt Maher. You can find all my stuff Instagram, Twitter. I do both, and you can find my other Sweet Tea podcasts.
Yes, I'm Cristal McLaughlin, and you can find me on all social media at Cristal823. That's with an I, not with a Y. I also wanted to just say Heather, which is HRB Shippy. She said some great stuff about us on about our podcast. So thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Heather.
Susan Pinkney, SUZQ 90210.
Hey guys, and I'm Mayte Crew. You can find me everywhere at This Is Mayte. That is at This Is MAYTE. We love you guys so
guys,
much. Thank you. See you
so
next
much.
week.
See you next week. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.